Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Fatin Rufahana. Alhamdulillah, for today we have with us here Ustazah Nur Sharafna live from TV7 studio. For our show Quran Storytime today, we will talk about Prophet Shu'aib alayhi salam. He was sent by Allah to a large tribe called Madian, which is named after the fourth son of Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam from his wife Keturah. The people of Madian were Arab people who lived in the north of Hijaz, close to the land of Ma'an, from the outskirts of Sham. Allah gave the people of Madian a luxurious and prosperous life, but instead of thanking Allah for the blessings, they rather increased their love for and concern for money. They took various malicious ways to obtain money and wealth, stole from travelers, cheated people with measurements, and lied to their customers about their products. Then Allah sent Prophet Shu'aib to guide them back. So tell me, Ustazah, how was Prophet Shu'aib's preaching style? How did the people of Madian react to him and his message?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Prophet Shu'aib alayhi salam was a devout worshipper of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who was always in prayer. But his people would laugh and mock him by saying, A'udhu billahi minash-shaytanir rajim. قالوا يا شعيب أصلاتك تأمرك أن نترك ما يعبد آباؤنا أو أن نفعل في أموالنا ما نشاء. O Shu'aib, does your prayer command you that we should leave what our fathers worship, or not do with our wealth what we please? From Surah Hud, Ayah verses 87. In spite of his people's cruelty towards him and stubbornness in accepting the truth, he would refute calmly with solid arguments, as he was known for his intellectual ability and soft-heartedness. However, the people of Madian wanted to put a stop to Prophet Shu'aib's preaching by threatening him and his followers to exile and stoning to death. The arrogant chiefs of his people threatened, as mentioned in Surah Al-A'raf verses 88, O Shu'aib, we will certainly expel you and your fellow believers from our land unless you return to our faith. They would go around telling others and his followers of how weak he is, and by following his religion, it would bring them nothing but loss. In return, Prophet Shu'aib alayhi salam remained soft on his people and continued reminding the unbelievers on being patient with worldly tests and surrender their affairs to none other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As for the believers, he continued reminding them to carry out justice in their businesses just like how he would do for himself.
So Ustazah, what happened to the people of Madian? Did they finally believe with Prophet Shu'aib?
As the people of Madian persistently denied and belittled Prophet Shu'aib's alayhi salam's teaching and reminders, he said his final words before leaving them to their fate. A'udhu billahi minash-shaytanir rajim. وَيَا قَوْمِ اعْمَلُوا عَلَى مَكَانَتِكُمْ إِنِّي عَامِلٌ سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ مَنْ يَأْتِيهِ عَذَابٌ يُخْزِيهِ وَمَنْ هُوَ كَاذِبٌ وَارْتَقِبُوا إِنِّي مَعَكُمْ رَقِيبٌ. O my people, persist in your ways, for I too will persist in mine. You will soon come to know who will be visited with torments and is a liar. And watch, I too am watching with you. From Surah Hud verses 93. In order to end their corruption and injustice, he turned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and asked, رَبَّنَا افتح بيننا وبين قومنا بالحق وأنت خير الفاتحين. Our Lord, judge between us and our people with truth. You are the best of those who judge. From Surah Al-A'raf verses 89. So when Allah's command came, a mighty blast and an overwhelming earthquake seized and struck all the wrongdoers, and they fell lifeless in their homes. The people of Madian who denied him were all wiped out as if they had never lived there. It was they who denied him were the true losers, and only those who believed with him were saved by Allah's mercy.
In conclusion, when we are obtaining money and wealth, we should always do it in a halal way, by being faithful in our transactions. Also, we should always ask Allah to guide us to the right path. And last but not least, we should always have patience and resilience in our da'wah, Inshallah, we will be among those who are saved by Allah's mercy. That's all for our Quran story time today. Inshallah, next time we will learn another beautiful story from the Quran. Ma'as salama.